Is a petty founder feud about to cost WordPress its crown as king of the internet? A heated battle between WordPress's creator and one of its largest hosting providers has erupted into all-out warfare, threatening the platform that powers 43% of all websites. The latest move? Well, WordPress actually banned WP Engine users from accessing critical security updates. But the real shock came when WordPress hijacked a popular plugin, with users seemingly unaware of the switch up. Stick around because we'll be revealing how this conflict could affect millions of website owners and reshape the entire open web as we know it. Hi, I'm Mark Webster, co-founder of Authority Hacker and strategic advisor over at Marketing Pros. Today's video is brought to you by Search Intelligence. More on them a little later. But for now, let's dive into the drama behind this latest WordPress controversy. From the White House to Microsoft, and from Rolling Stone to your local coffee shop, nearly half the websites you visit run on WordPress. But a single blog post calling one company a cancer to WordPress has triggered a chain of events that could knock WordPress from its throne and reshape how the open web works. To understand the true stakes of this conflict, we need to start with what WordPress means to the internet. If you're watching this video, you probably know what WordPress is. This content management system powers 43.5% of all websites, and more importantly, it was founded on open source principles. That means that anyone can use or modify it for free. And that free open source approach, combined with it making website building accessible to non-developers, caused its growth to explode. But as WordPress grew from a simple blogging platform into an internet giant, so did the companies building businesses around it. This brings us to WP Engine. They're one of the leading hosting providers, and much of this is due to their riding the WordPress wave and being one of the go-to WordPress hosting providers. Behind the scenes, tension has been brewing over a trademark licensing conflict between WP Engine and WordPress co-creator Matt Mullenweg, who's also the CEO and co-founder of Automattic, WordPress's parent company. It's worth noting that Automattic has its own WordPress hosting company, Pressable, which directly competes with WP Engine, but is far less successful. Pressable is only used by 0.07% of the top 10,000 sites, compared to WP Engine's 4.54%. Imagine creating an open source software with your hard work and money, only to have a private company use it to generate 64 times more revenue than you. This simmering conflict erupted into open warfare in September when Mullenweg labeled WP Engine a cancer to WordPress in a scathing blog post. He accused them of cutting costs at users' expense, disabling critical features like post revisions, and misleading users with their WP branding. This situation escalated quickly. WP Engine fired back with a cease and desist letter, revealing that Mullenweg had threatened a scorched earth nuclear approach and allegedly demanded a significant percentage of their revenues. Mullenweg responded with his own cease and desist, claiming WP Engine violated WordPress trademark rules, but he didn't stop there. Before we get into his most disastrous move that turned many against Mullenweg, here's a quick word from our sponsor, Search Intelligence. They're a digital PR agency that recently landed massive links for their bingo client in top-tier publications like The Sun, DR90, MSN DR92, and Blackpool Gazette DR72, and many other news outlets. Here's how they did it. Using Google Keyword Planner, they identified the top 10 most Googled bingo-related search terms in the UK and extracted monthly search volumes across 60 different cities. They then ranked these cities by normalizing the data per 100,000 residents using census information. They sent a detailed report to national and regional journalists with tailored headlines for each region, like Liverpool ranks 4th as the most bingo-obsessed city in the UK. This targeted approach resulted in widespread coverage and valuable backlinks. So if you're looking to enhance your link building efforts with creative digital PR campaigns, head on over to search-intelligence.co.uk. In an unprecedented move, Mullenweg banned WP Engine from accessing WordPress.org resources. This meant users couldn't update their plugins or themes, leaving sites potentially vulnerable to security issues. This impact was immediate. Developer Jacob Martella confirmed, "Today, Matt destroys the WordPress community. You can't add plugins directly from the .org repo if you have a WP Engine site." Agency owner Carissa Skirmut added, "I got blocked too with my agency's client sites on WP Engine." Matt crossed the line and is now attacking the WordPress community. After widespread backlash, WordPress temporarily lifted this ban until October 1st. WP Engine scrambled to comply with WordPress's demands, removing WordPress from their plan names. Essential WordPress became just Essential. Core WordPress became just core. But the drama wasn't over. On October 1st, WP Engine announced they built their own solution for updating plugins and themes, completely bypassing WordPress.org. And on October 3rd, They sued Automattic and Mullenweg, alleging power abuse and violating open source promises. The battle has even sparked a fork of the popular Advanced Custom Fields plugin. WordPress essentially copied ACF's code, renamed it to Secure Custom Fields, and started automatically switching users' plugins without their knowledge through the plugin repository. This means that if you're using ACF and you haven't disabled automatic updates, you might already be running a different version of the plugin without even knowing it. This led to a lot of confusion over which version to use, as SCF is not supported by the original ACF team, but by Automattic. It also sets a disturbing precedent, as Automatic's hijack has given them total control over the code being pushed to millions of people's sites. The fallout from this conflict has been devastating for both companies. Both were already on a decline. WordPress market share peaked in 2022 and has been falling since. And WP Engine is on a similar trajectory. And the fallout from this conflict has probably hurt both companies even more. But the real damage goes far beyond market share. The WordPress community is experiencing a mass exodus, which is particularly damaging for an open source software that relies on a thriving community of developers to keep it competitive. There's been a significant backlash from developers and users regarding the abrupt ACF plugin change, and many developers, even those who aren't siding with WordPress, are concerned about stability. Cash Morrell, founder of software development company ZibTech, summed up the growing concerns. Companies need some sort of guarantee that when they're using a CMS, such inner wrangles don't jeopardize the functioning of the CMS, a situation that's made many rethink the extent to which they depend on the WordPress ecosystem for their core business operations. John O'Nolan, founder of open source CMS Ghost, went even further, saying, "The web needs more independent organizations, and it needs more diversity. 40% of the web and 80% of the CMS market should not be controlled by one individual." And it's not just the external WordPress community. 159 employees of Automattic have quit over this debacle, 80% of which were from the WordPress division. They were encouraged by Mullenweg, who offered 6 months of severance to anyone who wanted to leave due to this conflict. I'm sure that this removal of people with differing opinions has done wonders for their company's morale. This breakdown of community trust is opening doors for hungry competitors who have long been waiting for a chink to appear in WordPress's armor. Some of the rising alternatives are Shopify for e-commerce, Wix, Webflow and Squarespace for website building, Payload CMS, Pocketbase, Drupal, and Ghost for those who want an open source option. But this isn't just about WordPress anymore. It's about the future of the open web itself. What we're seeing is a small tear in the fabric of the open web, but it could become much bigger if this conflict continues to escalate. WordPress has been the golden child of open source, a platform where developers could build premium solutions and actually make money doing it. But now, with WordPress's creator wielding updates like a weapon, the very nature of that open source promise is being questioned. This couldn't come at a worse time for WordPress. Their market share was already declining, and this controversy could accelerate that trend. WordPress might not be the automatic choice for new websites in a few years. Think about it. If you're a business owner, do you want to build on a platform where your site could suddenly lose access to important security updates because of internal politics? Probably not. The short-term concerns are already piling up. There are legitimate worries about security vulnerabilities, the stability of the plugin ecosystem, and general business uncertainty. Add to that the widespread frustration with Gutenberg Editor and the outdated, sluggish nature of WordPress's legacy interface compared with some of its competitors, and you've got a brewing crisis. But the bigger threat might be from growing discussions about forking WordPress entirely. And before you dismiss that idea, remember, some of the most successful software projects started as forks. Ubuntu forked from Debian, Oracle Enterprise Linux forked from Red Hat, and LibreOffice forked from OpenOffice. A WordPress fork could have massive implications for the entire ecosystem, from plugin developers to theme creators, and ultimately to the millions of end users who rely on WordPress every day. All that said, it's unlikely WordPress disappears entirely. It's still a strong, cost-efficient platform that powers over 43% of the internet. You can't just unplug something that big overnight. But we might be witnessing something potentially more destructive: the fragmentation of the world's largest web platform. As discussions of forking WordPress gain momentum, the once unified community faces a choice: stay with an increasingly divided platform or scatter to alternatives. This fragmentation could be exactly what competitors have been waiting for: a chance to capture segments of the market that WordPress once dominated unchallenged. When one company controls nearly half the internet and its community starts to fracture, the ripples affect the entire web. The question isn't whether WordPress will survive, it's whether it will remain the unified force that helped democratize web publishing. As the community splinters and competitors circle, we have to ask, are we witnessing the end of the open web as we know it, or the beginning of something new? It's time now for our debate of the week. Where do you fall in the WordPress versus WP Engine battle? Is WordPress right to rein in WP Engine, or have they gone too far in this very public conflict? Let us know down in the comments below. We do read every single one of them. And while you're there, make sure to grab a free module from our brand new Link Builder Academy course. We'll teach you exactly how to get free high authority links from top media sites. Our launch ends this week on October 30th. So if you like what you see, don't miss out on the opportunity to ace your in-house link building. Links will be in the description and the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, you'll probably also like this video over here. So go check that one out too.